Sorry, Larry.
Holy shit, that was quick. We're live.
What? Are we online? Are you kidding?
That was quick. They sped it up.
What? This week, Bill Gates argues that giving the entire world internet access won't magically cure poverty. That jerk. Reddit's politics community is blocking entire sites, leaving them only guessing why. And South Korea, with internet speeds that dwarf the USA and Europe, still mostly uses the web's worst browser, Internet Explorer. My name's Justin Putt. I'm in Boulder, Colorado. You're listening to Technophilia 88. Keep doing that. With me today from the UK, as always, is Mr. James Bruce. How's it going, James?
Oh, I'm pretty chuffed because I just got in on the Tactical Hapsticks Kickstarter, which is like this new VR thing where you can feel a sword waving around and shooting people, and oh my god, it's so awesome.
So wait, is this like in addition to your Oculus Rift toy? Like you're getting another one?
Yeah, so this goes along with
this
VR,
crap.
so now you have virtual swords too that actually feel like swords.
No, the average
Look at
house in the
Dave,
UK
look
is
at
like
him.
500 square foot. Where are you putting all this stuff?
Oh, well,
I'm
that's why I
concerned.
built a new office, actually.
So you can store all of your random Kickstarter crap? Okay.
Yep.
Far be it from me to tell you how to spend your money. Someone else who's good at spending money. Dave LeClaire, the extraordinary game collector. How's it going, Dave?
Good. I also backed a Kickstarter.
What did you back?
What did you back?
I backed Retro, the gaming magazine.
A magazine?
Oh, yeah, there's going to be a magazine about retro gaming.
You
Yeah,
don't
they-
feel like that's going a bit retro right there? Just the magazine in itself?
Well, it'll also be available on your iPad, but they wanted it in print too. So I backed it,
Interesting.
and they were already at their goal when I backed it. Their goal was 50, and I backed it like right around when they got to 50, and they finished at $75,000, and they just sent me an email asking for my address because they're going to be shipping the first issue in December.
Sweet. So let us know how it is.
So that was my first venture into James's world of kickstarting things.
Kickstarting things. Yeah, James's hobby is Kickstarter. I think.
That was your first
I woke up
$10.
this morning and because I guess we're friends, so on Kickstarter or I follow him or something. So I wake up this
Oh,
morning,
yeah.
2 emails telling me that James backed weird bullshit. I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah, shit. I
Had it
backed
again,
I backed
money out the window.
a new a dreaming headset thing this morning as well.
Yep.
It
I
reads
was
your
like, really?
brainwaves and then
Backing lucid dream headsets.
yeah.
What is wrong with this guy?
What? It reads your brainwaves.
yes, it reads your
Oh,
brainwaves.
great.
So
Yeah,
now the
that's
NSA,
right.
in addition to hacking your emails, can hack your dreams.
I did a
And
review
leak
of
that
one before
information to
on
discredit you. Yeah.
Make Use of,
Did a
but
review
it
of the
didn't
NSA
actually.
hacking your dreams.
It didn't read your brainwaves, so it didn't know when you're dreaming. It just randomly played back lights to you, and this one knows when you're dreaming, and it says, "You're dreaming, dude. Wake up." Well, not wake up, but wake up in your dream, because
What?
that's lucid dreaming, obviously. Ah,
It like tells you to like, oh, you are dreaming. So if you want to fly or
Yes.
to do inappropriate things, you can do that now.
exactly.
So I'm gonna do a
that.
prank where I just start calling your house and telling you like, Jake, you're dreaming. Go outside and grab a chicken. You'll fly just like in Legend of Zelda. It's gonna work perfectly.
I don't want to mess with your plan, but I think that involves me answering the phone.
No, okay.
But
Well,
fair
I'll
enough,
text
go
you,
on.
James. Maybe you're dreaming right now. Did you think of that?
Maybe this
If
whole
we were
podcast
dreaming,
thing has been a dream. We don't even have a podcast.
This show would probably have a sponsor, and looking at the outline, that's clearly not true. So I'll just move on to the top story. Bill Gates, the internet is not going to save the world. He told CNBC in an exclusive interview that saving the world requires more than just giving everyone internet access. Companies like Google have been making very public shows of balloons that deliver internet to poor countries, but as a priority, that's a joke, says Bill Gates. His not-for-profit, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, has been focusing on a lot of issues. Malaria was his example. If you want to cure the world of malaria, internet's not going to help much as the first priority. You need to get vaccines on the ground. So, we as technology people like to think that the internet is going to solve all the problems in the world, and it's not necessarily true. So it's interesting to see a man who arguably ushered in the PC era say that technology is not the end-all and be-all. There's other priorities you have to have. James, did you read his thoughts? What did you think?
It was a bloody long article. You can't expect me to read all of that, can you?
I
I don't want to be contrarian, but
10 minutes.
I do kind of disagree with him in the sense that the internet probably it does play a huge part in fixing the world, I think, because it's able to disseminate education all over the world to those who would otherwise be denied it, like thousands of girls in Africa and random countries. And so it does solve a certain subset of problems, but clearly it's not going to help us generate nuclear fission power or anything.
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, so it's not saying internet isn't important. It's just saying it's not the main priority. If people don't have food, they're not going to be that interested in an internet connection, right? There's other problems you have to take care of first.
Sure, but
So
maybe
just
if
thinking
you
that if we
gave
give
them
everyone
internet, they could learn how to grow their own food. Ooh. Didn't think of that one.
Information certainly helps. Information certainly helps.
Right.
And there have been repeated incidents throughout history of people immediately after disaster wanting to get communications infrastructure up and running almost instantly because it helps. It makes doing everything else a little bit easier. That's true. But it's probably not a good reflex for us to think that giving internet access somewhere is the most important thing you can do to help people out. If there's
not if they don't have
violence
electricity
in the streets. Yeah.
For instance.
I don't know. I've got a little solar USB charger in my bedroom.
Well, that could work.
I wouldn't need electricity as long as there's. Yeah, there you go. Hand those out.
Let's
this is the
water
reflex of
first,
technology, people.
Yeah.
We think if we give everyone a smartphone, that all their problems will just be solved. Whereas it requires more than that. You know, you're not going to take the time. 3D printed foods is beyond 3 solar. Well, there you go, Bill Gates. You're just wrong.
3D printed food sounds yummy.
That sounds delicious, except it would be made of plastic bits, and probably not. And have those weird jaggedy edges all over. But I love me some 3D printers.
They have a 3D
well, let's
printer
move
at the
on to
Microsoft
something.
store.
Huh?
Did they?
In the mall.
You went to the Microsoft store?
No,
Well, I was walking. No, I didn't actually go in the store, but I was walking by and there's just a 3D printer. And Jess is like, "Why does Microsoft have a 3D printer?" I'm like, "Well, why else would anybody go to the Microsoft store?" And that was that. Because it's not like a Microsoft branded 3D printer. They just like have a 3D printer, just like sitting there, like, "Look, we can 3D print shit."
What else are they going to do all day? Right?
No, they want to be perceived as innovative, and most people don't know what a 3D printer is. So that's a cool way to get people into the store, and then possibly trick them into buying a Surface.
By buying someone else's innovation. Yeah, you go, Microsoft.
Yep. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, "Yep, way to just steal someone else's thing, throw it in your store." Be like, "Yep, sure."
Awesome.
I remember. Did you ever get a chance to play with the original Microsoft Surface, like the giant pool table-sized computer tablet?
I made one.
Oh, you made one?
I made one.
Where do you put all this stuff in your house? You have it now?
No. This was in Japan.
Oh, okay.
When I was at Kyoto University.
You just made a giant tablet?
Well, no, it was a piece of frosted glass as the tabletop, and then underneath there was a projector. And then there was a layer of lasers that I put on the top, and then when you break the laser with your hand, it reflects back to a camera underneath, and it read where your fingertips were. It was pretty cool. There wasn't much you could do with it.
What year was this? What kinds of stuff could it do? This is fascinating.
What year was this? Fuck, this was ages ago. 3-4 years ago.
3-4 years ago is ages ago?
I think that's ages ago, isn't it? Yeah. 3, 4, 5 years ago, something like that. Yeah, it was alright. But there isn't much you can do with it. There's and just tech demo shit like that.
I played with one. I played checkers. That was about the best thing I could do.
I played with Lenovo's
I'm sure
version.
the official Microsoft one was better and probably had more software for it, but this was like an open source thingy.
Yeah.
That anyone could build.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like it was much better. It was a cool concept. There's just no software for it. That's something that the current Microsoft Surface doesn't have a problem with, right?
I remember the D&D demo that they did on one, and that looked really cool.
That could be cool. Speaking of D&D, next week, Wednesday, Technophiliacs, we're going to play a D&D light game, Numenera. Rob, you heard us, if you listen to the after show, design characters for this. He's going to design an hour-and-a-half campaign for us. If you're not familiar with tabletop games, it's just going to be him. It's a video game that runs in our minds. He's going to be our host in this world, and we're going to play in it. by talking, basically. So it's going to be a special edition of the show. I think you guys are going to like it, though. I hope it'll be entertaining. So join us next week, or just listen to the podcast the way you usually do. But if you participate live, I'm going to work out with Rob some ways you guys in the chat room can be involved in the story.
So wait, it's an hour and a half one-off campaign?
Hour and a half one-off campaign. If
okay.
Technophiliacs really, really like it, we could potentially spin it off into another show, but there's no promises there.
Or we could play D&D.
We could play D&D too, but this one, it sounds like it's a lot less work for us in terms of, like, we don't need to have papers and all that. It's just us talking.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, it's gonna be fun. I really hope you join us. And if you don't usually join us live, maybe consider doing it that week, because there's going to be some real ways for you to participate, as opposed to now where you just make snide comments that I sometimes read.
And I'm going to figure out the best way to troll the game.
No. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Adblock Plus, speaking of trolls, now blocks more than ads, including Facebook like buttons. Now, James, I know you are Adblock Plus's biggest fan. You just love their business model where they accept money from companies so their ads will show up, thus creating a tiered internet where only the rich companies can show any ads at all. What's your take on this? I mean, I hate like buttons. I used to use Adblock specifically for the social media blocker because I don't like those things showing up everywhere, and I don't like that Facebook can track everywhere I go. What do you think?
I don't think it actually blocks like button. Well, from what I read of the news post I make use of, it looks like it blocks things on Facebook. So it blocks out like ads on Facebook or the weird stuff in the sidebar and stuff. I think.
Or like non-Facebook things, like when someone posts something from Twitter and it shows up there, and I'm like, if I wanted to see your tweets, I would follow you on Twitter. You jackass, shut up.
Yeah, like games you may like or suggest friends, that kind of crap is what it blocks by the sound of it.
Yeah, music pages you may like, add to movies, add to TV shows. Oh man, I'm having so much fun with Facebook this week. It tried to guess my hometown, and it didn't guess anywhere remote. It guessed Deventer because my grandmother grew up there.
Huh.
Deventer, Netherlands. Like, it just hasn't. Facebook has no idea where I'm from, and I'm not going to help it. And what else did it? It asked where I went to high school, and it thought I was Boulder High. So like it's just trying to get information, and it's not going to put it on my page till I say okay, and I just take a screenshot every time and put it on Facebook and be like, ha, jerks. I'm not telling you.
Such a dick.
my college on Facebook is set. My college on Facebook is set to a fictional college within the world of H.P. Lovecraft. I have never read a single H.P. Lovecraft novel. I have no idea why my college is set to this. But I'm not going to change it because I think that's hilarious.
Oh, it's people like you that break the internet.
Internet breaker.
I don't want Facebook to have accurate information about me. I'm just going to go like Justin Bieber and see what that... I tried this for a week. I liked Fox News just to see what kind of crap would show up in my feed. Like if I'd get ads for guns and stuff, and it didn't work. But I think I still like Fox News. I just wanted to see what would happen.
Oh, dear.
Speaking of political nonsense, Our Politics, which is a community of Reddit, its moderators have decided to block a staggering list of sites, including Mother Jones, which is a site that you can read an interview if you look at the description for the podcast with the editors, just saying basically, I have no idea why our site's blocked. I don't get it at all. If you look at the list, it's kind of arbitrary, especially when sites like Slate are not. The Our Politics moderators are saying they're trying to stop link bait or articles that just like summarize another article in order to get clicks. So they blocked the Huffington Post, which I wholeheartedly endorse. But then a site like Slate, which is pretty famous on the web for writing headlines generated to get the most clicks possible. Like, you know what, I hate pie. Like that's the kind of shit they do. I just don't understand why they don't make the list. So anyways, it's worth pointing out, as I'm sure Dave can explain in more detail, that it's not Reddit the company that does this, right?
Yeah, it's all the... everything is all the choice of the people who run the subreddit. Reddit as a company doesn't really have a very hands-on approach to anything. It seems like they kind of let the...
So these are all volunteers.
Yeah.
These are all volunteers who run individual sub-communities. And Our Politics, as it's called,
I'm not sure where the
ahead.
admins come into play because they're like a rank up from the mods. I never knew if the admins are Reddit employees or if they're just like higher up mods.
Reddit itself does ban sites, though.
Well, yes, Reddit itself has, but I believe I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that a subreddit can choose to allow the ban sites.
Doof is putting out in the chat room that Mother Jones has been unbanned, so that's good. But the problem is that these volunteer moderators run a news aggregate service that serves 3 million people, I think, Dave?
Probably much
it's
more.
At least 2 million.
A default subreddit, so anybody who just goes to reddit.com would see it.
You're right. So there's 3 million, there's like 2 or 3, I can't remember, million subscribers, and then anyone who just goes to reddit.com sees those posts as well. So it could be a major driver of traffic for some of these political sites. And for this just to be blocked outright is kind of bad. But then again, I don't know. I really agree with the Huffington Post thing. I know they've done some good journalism, but for the most part, if you go to HuffingtonPost.com, you're seeing a one-paragraph summary of an article that's almost without, in most cases, even a link to the original article, right? So but is it my if I were a moderator of our politics, is it my place to decide when Reddit already has a pretty good system, in theory, for filtering out crap, which is voting, right? That's the whole point of the site. If a site is crap, you'd think it wouldn't get upvotes, right?
But the people who submit it will put like some type of title that draws attention and gets you to vote it, you know. They'll put a title.
Well, that's how it works, right?
But
Beyond Three Souls makes a very good point. iPadBoardGames.org should be banned. Oh, he said
iPadBoardGames.com. I agree. That should be banned. Don't ban iPadBoardGames.
Is that a real site? Why don't you have .com? I was wondering about
because
that.
somebody bought it when I was buying the domains, I guess. I didn't consider them much competition.
And Doofus pointed out sites that have also been blocked, including Gawker, which probably makes sense. It's a very entertaining gossip site, but they don't really vouch stuff, and they try to make stuff as extreme as possible to get clicks. Huffington Post, which you don't have to ask me twice about my objections to them. I don't like them. National Review, Reason, Salon, which if you're blocking Salon and not Slate, that's just nonsense. They're about equivalent in my head. I don't understand. Think Progress and Vice. Now, Vice does write a lot of crap, but they also do some pretty serious investigative journalism from time to time. So it seems kind of arbitrary for the mods to be making this kind of a decision. Well, if you want... Why are you typing? You can, like, talk to people directly.
I would just like to throw in a random aside for any of our U.S. listeners. I just saw a thing online that for some reason Walmart is selling Grand Theft Auto 5 for $18 right now, and I just went to their website and it is in fact $18. So if you don't have GTA 5, you should probably go get that for $18.
And if anyone is a fan of John Green, and you should be, the ridiculous price war means that his best-selling novel is now down to $3, I think, on Walmart's website. So. The author and the publishers don't lose money on that, but Walmart does, so I highly recommend that you go there, buy these things, and nothing else. It's just the shit that's ridiculously discounted.
Do you think they have to? Do they have to actually honor that in America if they advertise that price?
What, the $18 thing?
Yeah, I mean it might be a complete mistake.
But I don't know. It's on both the PlayStation 3 and the 360 versions, so it's like that means they made 2 mistakes.
James, you make money regardless of whether anyone looks at your site or not. That is insane.
Well, my ads are rented monthly. They're not dependent upon the number of visits I get or the number of clicks they get, and I have advertisers waiting. So, I mean, presumably, if no one visited and no one ever clicked, they wouldn't renew their ads. But
they go away eventually, yeah.
It's not like I make less money because you didn't click on it or something. I'm still going to get paid the same amount every month.
We should talk about your history sometime of running websites. Like, how did you get started with iPad board games? Were you just starting a whole bunch of websites, and this is one that stuck? Like, how did this happen?
A spin-off from a technology blog that I started. I forget what it was. It was the one that got me the job on Make Use of there. I can't remember.
But you weren't hired to write. You were hired to run the site, weren't you?
No, I was hired to write originally. That was back in November something or other, and then a month later, Mark was like, we need a new tech guy. You know tech stuff, right?
Oh yeah, because George, we had George from
Yeah.
down in Florida somewhere. He was doing it. Yeah, I guess he had to leave for some reason.
It was,
He was a good guy.
sheer chance that I got that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were hired specifically to be the tech and just wrote because you were here anyways.
No,
That's really funny. Because now you barely spend any time writing. You spend more time staring at your webcam, I think. Like this.
I'm not a very good writer, really. I don't really like writing. So that's okay.
So, last week, we reported what we thought was probably the worst malware of all time. I can't remember its name right now, but it encrypted your files.
Crypto locker.
Held hostage and told you.
Okay, yeah.
Crypto locker, that's what it was called, yeah. It held your files hostage. It encrypted them and said, I'm going to delete this forever unless you pay me money. And I guess... And then it followed through. Yeah, it wasn't a lie. Your data really would be gone. And because it encrypted it before doing so, if you had an online backup service syncing, the online backup service would just have the encrypted version and not the real stuff. And you would need the NSA's help to decrypt it. And God knows they're never helpful. They just spy on you. They're not going to help you do that shit. You know what? Aside, that would be a good public relations move for them. Just like, oh, your files are encrypted? The NSA can help. Just go to helper.nsa.gov and we'll decrypt it for you. Free of charge. Anyways, Ars Technica is reporting on something that I'm pretty skeptical of, but it's a piece of malware called Bad BIOS. It can apparently write itself to Mac firmware or any BIOS on any computer. And it's just the most self-replicating thing I've ever heard of. There are security experts looking into it. This article's pretty in-depth. You can check it out on Ars Technica. There's been some claims of BS, though. James, I read this. It was published on Halloween. I thought it was just a ghost story. It was certainly scarier than any ghost story I've ever read. But... Do you like, is there a chance this thing's legit? This is so weird to me.
From the article really struck me. Strangest of all was the ability of infected machines to transmit small amounts of network data with other infected machines, even when their power cords and Ethernet cables were unplugged and their Wi-Fi and Bluetooth cards were removed. So basically, it's spreading through the air, is what he's trying to say.
If that's... Wait, is it using the little battery? The motherboard to spread? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It sounds like complete bullshit, and
yeah.
I mean, the trouble with this story is that the guy who's talking about it is a legit kind of trusted security researcher who's been at this for a few years, and he really has like nothing to gain and everything to lose if it is proved to be a hoax. So it's kind of weird to know where the motivation is here. But honestly, my thoughts on this are if I could just bring the mood down a little bit. I think this might be similar to some kind of paranoid schizophrenia kind of thing, like where you just get...
You think the guy's just crazy?
I don't want to call it crazy because I knew a guy who had paranoid schizophrenia. That's not fair. But it does. This is the kind of thing that would maybe develop. Like maybe he has just gone a bit weird, and that's why he spent so long trying to prove this. That I mean, if you check out on Reddit, they've already had a couple of security researchers downloading his data and looking at it and saying, there's no rootkit there, what are you talking about? So it does
it did sound pretty terrifying, but it seems like it's fictional. Hypothetically, though, a virus that would infect a computer at the firmware level would be pretty crippling if you could do it.
It would, but then to be able to affect all these different kinds of firmware and I mean, that's possible, I guess, but it would be pretty detectable if it was that good. And then it's just that bit about traveling through the air that really kind of... The simplest explanation is it's probably bullshit, and you know, it usually is the simplest explanation. I reckon.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I guess if we hear more, we'll find out. But for now, I think I read this and I thought it's probably BS. But I'm like, you know, James knows more about this stuff, and I just thought I'd ask you. But rather than for the show,
James doesn't know
my
about
research process.
It's an interesting story.
He knows about a couple things. It's interesting. You should read it. Let us know what you think in the comments if you're reading it now, and we'll discuss your point of view. But for now, let's move on to South Korea, where the vast majority of people still use Internet Explorer. When I heard this, I was shocked because South Korea is a country, especially among gamers, right, Dave, of being very technologically advanced, having the fastest internet connection speeds on the planet. But to have that fast internet... What games do they play?
They just play StarCraft. That's it.
All the time.
You don't need a web
Well,
browser
apparently
to
they're
play
playing StarCraft on Windows XP. Yeah, that's true. Well, so here's the weird thing. Online shopping does not work without a specific ActiveX extension in that country. So if you use Chrome or Safari or Firefox, you constantly get warnings every time you try to buy something online that says you can't do it unless you're in Internet Explorer. So the majority of people, tired of this annoyance, just use Internet Explorer constantly. It's a good reminder of the extent to which Internet Explorer dominated the web just 10 short years ago.
Yeah, I remember my banking site having to do that, but it's 2013 now, you know. Move on.
They fixed it over here, right?
Yeah.
It's a good example of what happens when the political system gets involved with technology and issues mandates like this, because it's for legal reasons. They're not allowed to use anything but a very specific security key, is my vague understanding. That's pretty crazy, though, that they have the fastest internet speeds in the world, arguably, and they've got to filter it through this crap browser.
I find it kind of particularly hilarious because internet shopping has always been far more secure than like real life shopping. I remember I used to work in retail, and one of my managers got arrested one day because it turned out he'd been working on the till, and when a customer would pay with a credit card, remember you used to have those like swiping machines where you copy it onto carbon copy paper. It turns out he'd been putting an extra layer in, and he would take all these layers up to the office later, and he would call pawn chat lines using credit cards copied from customers, and he got arrested. Yeah, that
of course
fun.
you got arrested. That's just a stupid thing to even try.
You're not going to trace that, honestly.
That's not very smart.
But it's it's always been far more safe to put your number online. I trust Amazon with my credit cards more than I do some like waiter who's just been pissed off because I complained about the chicken or something.
Yeah, I've seen waiters like add tips I very intentionally didn't add. You know,
and they can just copy your number and keep it for later, obviously. Which is...
I mean, you have a follow through with the credit card company. You can do that, but yeah,
sure. I mean, you do that online as well. It's not. People are weird.
Yeah. Anyways, Korea, fix your stuff. I will give you this. You're probably using a better browser than they do in North Korea. I'll give you that much. But you should fix your stuff, South Korea. Internet Explorer is not an acceptable browser to use in 2013. But what if it's Internet Explorer 11? Maybe that's fine. I don't know.
It's kind of like Japan, where they have the similar situation with the world's fastest internet. I think it's actually faster than Korea, but you could never submit anything online in Japan. You always had to go to the government office, and you stamp it with a wooden stamp that everyone has to own. It's like a signature, but you stamp it with this thing. You put it in a pile of ink, and you stamp your stamp on it, and it just seems so backwards to me. It's like, well, anyone could steal my fucking stamp. What's wrong with you?
It's like these companies. I'm reminded of these companies that insist that you fax things to them because email's not secure, and I'm like, how is fax in any way secure? Well, you could forge a document in Photoshop if you email it. I forge the document in Photoshop, I print it, and then I fax it. Like, that's not that hard to do. The fax is so resolution. You wouldn't be able to see that I photoshopped it. So, like, well, you can't print stuff from Photoshop. Only real things can be on paper. No, you can put anything you want on paper. This is a ridiculous security restriction that makes no sense. So yeah, it's an example of something like that. These things always amuse me. Seriously, why do fax machines still exist? Why? Someone justify this for me.
People like to fax things. Makes them
we
feel
used to get spam in our school.
It makes people feel businessy when they fax something. They're like,
you know what?
I'm businessy.
I worked at a newspaper. I think I told you this, and everyone would fax their press releases over because then there's a paper copy in the newsroom and people are more likely to look at it. Yeah, that didn't work. But sure, we did waste a lot of paper on that crap. Holy crap. Terrible.
Fax machines are the bane of trees everywhere? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Every time you fax, God doesn't kill a tree, you do.
The place I used to work at had their fax machine come to the computer, and then they would just put an image on the computer, then they could choose whether or not to print it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a good idea, but you're still using
automatically
this completely archaic and unnecessary protocol to do something as basic as document exchange.
Yeah.
Just because, like, it's... Anyways, it's amazing how long fax has lasted. Long after
People
it's
use them to
passed
send
from.
food menus. I think that's like the only remaining purpose. They send their businesses their food menus so you can order takeout.
They still
That's-
use them all across Japan. It's one of the
Because
primary
God
ways of
knows
communicating.
menus don't work over the internet.
Well, yeah, but they got to get you to actually look at the menu. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's people wanting to have a piece of paper in your office without them having to pay for the paper. It's the worst kind of laziness.
Or a stamp.
We're not paying for paper. You're paying.
It's going to
us.
teleport this piece of paper
Sure.
magically into your grasp. Enjoy.
Yeah, is that old joke? Yeah. I'm not even going to say it. Okay, so the U.S. government is working with Coursera, the online course company, to offer free classes around the world. They're building physical places with computers that people without a lot of wealth can go to and visit, because they don't take Bill Gates seriously. They think information is the answer. I just think this is the United States saying to the world, hey, look, we can do good stuff with computers too. Look how nice we are. Everything you do, we will watch.
Yeah, now they
Anyways,
can
I
monitor
thought
what
it was-
you're learning about.
Yeah. Oh crap! In the third world, they're learning how to write Java. We need to better educate our Java.
I think
That's
this
what
is
this is all about. Yeah.
Quite fascinating, though, because Coursera is supposed to be online courses from leading universities, and now they're taking the online courses and putting them into real places to learn.
Real places, yeah.
Which is
and there will be teachers,
mind-blowing.
like real teachers there as well to supplement the teaching. So this is
Right.
This is actually, as much as I talk down the internet's ability to change the world, this is actually pretty legit in terms
I
of
wonder if they're
world-changing
actually going to get
use
a
of
real degree
technology.
now, though. Because that was the problem
I doubt
before. You
that.
only get a certificate.
I doubt that. I mean, that's these courses, these universities, who make their money handing out real degrees, are giving the courses out for free, primarily because there's no degree attached to it. If there's a degree attached to it, there'd be no point for anyone to go to any of these universities. So the
Do you think
economics
it's even
here,
worth
long
going to
term,
university anymore?
I do. I think it broadens your ability to think. I don't think it's worth going to university with the mentality, I'm going to study this and I'm going to get that job. But if you go to university from a place where you're trying to improve yourself, you're trying to learn as many different skills and ways to think as possible, yeah, totally worthwhile.
How much are tuition fees in America now?
It depends if you go to a
$1 billion.
state school or not. If you go to a state school, I think
Just a
it's
regular
around-
university.
Yeah, so if you go to a state school, which is like a regular government-run university, and you're going to the one in your state, it's different if you go to one in a different state. I believe it's somewhere around 4,000. If you go to a private one, it can be more like 20.
4,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Because now ours they're all $18,000 a year.
I mean, that's for a state school, and that is just tuition. It doesn't include things
Yeah, yeah.
like books and room and
No,
board.
this is
and
just
all
for
that.
tuition too. But
Yeah, but that
It's
it's
insane.
pretty different. It's a lot more than that if you go to a state school, not in your state. So someone like Dave in Connecticut went here to Colorado, it costs more. If you came here, there's a completely different fee
That
for
would cost
foreign
a
students.
yeah,
For foreign students are way more
yeah.
because all of China wants to come here, and the universities
same thing
realize
too.
that yeah. So foreign students are way more.
Plus,
And-
there's the James tax because
oh yeah, if it's James Bruce, they just
And then
make
there's
it
the fact that
100,000 a
probably
year just
wouldn't
to start
actually
with.
be allowed in through the border anyway.
Yeah.
yeah, the
But
James
whatever.
tax is high.
I'm being told by the chat room to let you talk, so I want to hear more about the James tax.
I forgot to put the YouTube video into the post.
Well, that's a pretty critical error.
Yeah, someone in the chat was like, "Where? How do I watch the podcast?"
Oh no, that's awful.
Oh, yeah.
You suck, Dave.
What?
Whoops. So I've added that now.
Okay, when we make use of .tv up, this shit's gotta stop.
How did none of you guys notice that either? What the hell? You're
I don't-
supposed to.
I don't read
Look
it.
at- I don't look at the post. I've got the Word document in the chat room open.
You're the editor.
All right, one more story, then we need to do our sponsor.
Okay
We're gonna
then.
do them.
So Brazil has been bitterly complaining ever since a Snowden leak document revealed that America has been spying on Brazil's head of state. A lot of countries have been complaining about this, including Germany and France. But Brazil was particularly loud at decrying America. But it turns out, because newsflash, countries spy on each other, Brazil's been doing the same thing to diplomats when they visit Brazil because they're a country and countries spy on each other. So kind of embarrassing. This doesn't in any way justify the brutal extent of the NSA's monitoring of everyone and everything. But every time a country complains, like, they're spying and that's not okay, they're spying too. France, Germany,
In fairness,
they spy on people too.
This was within their own borders. It's not like they're intercepting every bloody communication on the internet ever. Like America.
Yeah, you know why they don't do that? Because they don't have the money to fund that yet. Yeah, if they could, they would. Let's be honest here. They're just...
Probably.
We could get on the playground who's upset that... if they had the toys to do it, they'd do it. You think France wouldn't spy on everyone if they had the capability to do it? A lot of this is just...
You think I wouldn't? I would.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And again,
I would.
Not justifying what America's doing here at all. I think it's ridiculous, but it's also pretty ridiculous for these countries to complain about it as though they wouldn't. Yeah. This week's show is brought to you by Bitdefender's Clueful for iOS. It is the world's first and only way to really understand how iOS apps treat users' privacy. Installed apps are easy to analyze for understanding the privacy-associated concerns that may affect you. That, again, is Bitdefender's Clueful for iOS. You can check it out. If you like the show, please look into Bitdefender and all they offer. They've been longtime sponsors. We are able to do this for you because of them. So check it out. Bitdefender's Clueful for iOS. Here's a nice little piece here in the Wall Street Journal about Silicon Valley's arrogance problem. This connects to the story we talked at the top about how some computer people think that they can just solve all the problems on Earth. There was apparently a presentation by someone in Silicon Valley all about Silicon Valley's exit. It was, I'm going to mispronounce this. My apologies to our Indian listeners. Balaji Surivasan. That was worse than I thought it would be.
Srinivasan?
Yeah, anyways,
Srinivasan.
I am not a good technology journalist. He was basically saying that, the U.S. government and all these other companies, they keep trying to hold the Silicon Valley down. We should just break off of America and start our own country with Google Glass and Twitter. It's a nonsensical argument, but it comes from a place where these people who make websites, who make services like Facebook, think that they are the most important people on Earth. It's this sort of arrogance that comes whenever a particular region or group of people does particularly well in the economy. They begin to believe their own hype. Silicon Valley was pretty humbled about 13 years ago when every single stock crashed when it was figured out that they're not worth anything. And right now we've got companies like Snapchat with no discernible revenue plan being worth billions of dollars. It doesn't make a lot of sense to average people, and when people question this, a lot of technology people take that as an affront. They don't take it as an opportunity to explain where the value is coming from. They're like, you're attacking us. And this is the ultimate incarnation of that arrogance.
You could charge to remove a censor over the rude parts of pictures. Boom, done it. I'll take a 10% royalty, please. Thank you very much.
Snapchat, money, please. It's not just Snapchat. I mean, look at how much Yahoo spent on Tumblr when that site has no interest in making money anywhere remotely close to now. All these companies...
They got bought.
They got what? They got bought.
They got bought by Yahoo. They don't need to.
Now Yahoo needs to figure out how to make money. Somebody else's problem. But it was just really weird how many of these people think that... to me, I think technology is awesome. But getting back to what Bill Gates was saying earlier, the only reason we can have technology companies is because someone's making food. If you don't have food, it's all worthless. So to say, all the value in America is being made by Silicon Valley, I'm sorry. Without the Midwest, you're nothing. Because you need food to do this shit, So, there are advantages to being part of a country, I guess is what I'm saying. Like food.
I'm going to be contrarian again because, to be honest, I don't know a bloody thing about Silicon Valley, right? So I admit I don't get most of this story, but I did find the concept of an opt-in society run by technology to be something intriguing and something I would totally support. It does. Yeah. It agrees with my own political philosophy that society should be run by some ginormous AI that's capable of making rational decisions, logical decisions based on long-term planning and not the next election in 3 years, If the AI is going to take care of poverty, I'm all for it.
just think you need a
It
certain
would be
amount
able
of
to.
empathy to do things well, and it's the lack of empathy here that's troubling, I think. Just like if something doesn't directly affect me, it's not important, is the mentality that's coming across. And I don't think that's how most people in Silicon Valley actually think. I think they're being misrepresented by a particularly vocal minority. So speak up. Show that you care about the planet. And, yeah. Food is for losers, says the chat room. I love you guys. You always have the best analysis. Dave, how much are you...
$500,000.
Dave is... I don't think I'd pay $500,000 for some Dave, but your game collection might be worth that, so...
I wish.
Moving.
I just found out that this stupid little thing's worth $150, and I bought it for $4 at Goodwill.
What is it?
It's a thing that lets you use a Game Genie with a top loader NES.
So it's not even a Game Genie, it just goes between the Game Genie and the top loader?
Yep, it's just an adapter, and it was free when they made them. If you bought a Game Genie, you could just you send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the company that makes Game Genie, and they'd send you one of those for free. But like no one did it, so there's none of them out there. So saw it at Goodwill. I was like, I don't know what that thing is. I've never seen it before, so I'll buy it for $4. And then I looked it up later, and I was like, $150? Holy balls!
That's kind of how I treat Kickstarter, I guess. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. Let's back it.
Oh, Kickstarter.
You're a wild west of weirdness.
So my country's been in the news a lot. I introduced myself as being in Boulder, Colorado, but longtime listeners know that I'm originally from this place called Canada, which is north of the U.S. and it's been in the news a lot lately. Yeah, I prefer to think of it as a Britain Junior, but you can.
Well, you're on top of us. You're American.
Yeah, that's true. You're Canada's. America is Canada's pants. Anyways, it's mostly famous this month because the mayor of the biggest city there just admitted to smoking crack after saying he didn't smoke crack for a year. So,
is that in Canada?
It was Toronto. Toronto's in Canada.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was America when I heard about that. My bad.
You thought Toronto was in America? Or did you not notice the word
I just
Toronto?
heard crack smoking cocaine addict or something. I thought America, probably.
Oh, no, he was Canadian. And it creates a real tough time for Canadians because there's nothing we love more than when American TV shows mention Canada. Like, it makes us so excited. But now the Daily Show and all the late-night shows are making fun of Toronto for having a mayor who smokes crack. So it's this, oh, that's kind of embarrassing. But they're talking about us. They're acknowledging our existence. That's awesome. So it's a real divide.
Anyways, like that he's still got another year in office or something.
Yeah, and he's saying he's not going to step down. He needs. He said, "I need to move on." Like, I need to move on. So all I can do is apologize and move on and do my job. No, that's moving on is stepping down from your job. Moving on is not okay. Now I'm gonna keep doing mayor now. P.S. I love crack. Like,
now does it say he still smokes crack, or just that he tried it once?
He didn't realize he smoked crack. He said because he was so wasted.
In a drunken stupor, yeah. It's like, well, that happens every weekend. How am I supposed to remember?
he on his own radio show. He's got a radio show in Toronto. Apparently, he talks for an hour with his brother, who's a city councillor, and he said, "Yeah, I guess I should just drink at home from now on." And that's not the solution. You need to stop drinking, dude. If you're smoking crack and not realizing it, that's pretty bad. So, anyways, Canada in general and Ontario, where Toronto is specifically, has been having a bad name lately. So I thought I'd bring up some beneficial Canadian news from the University of Guelph, a university my brother actually attended. DNA evidence there is showing that many herbal medicines are just rice and weeds. The active ingredient that they claim to have, it's scientifically questionable whether that ingredient would help anyways, but it's not even in these things. It's just rice and weeds, and there's no regulation whatsoever on.
Why would you regulate something that's completely harmless and does nothing?
Yeah, that's basically been, in America, the FDA's point of view, right? We're not going to regulate this because it doesn't actually do anything, right? But a lot of people do take these things seriously, and yeah, it's just it's not a real effect. It's all psychological that these things help you at all to begin with. But What's shocking is the fact that apparently the herbal medicine companies agree with this and don't even bother to put the supposedly active ingredient into the pill. Now, I'm not saying that alternative medicine is bad, but I'm saying that there's a word for alternative medicine that has been scientifically proven to work, and it's medicine. Like, that's
I
it.
thought it was crack.
No word yet on what kind of herbal medicine could help you get over an alcohol problem so bad that it makes you smoke crack without realizing it. No word on that. Guelph, if you could get on that, it might help your.
I think they call it. I think it's called rehab.
Seriously, Rob Ford. I know you're a technophiliac. I know you listen every week. Get help.
It's quite disgusting in the UK. We actually fund homeopathy down in.
Homeopathy is worse than herbal medicine.
It is. It's worse, and we actually fund it using government money, which is really, really disgusting.
That is terrible.
That.
There was a homeopathic like doctor thingy right up the street from my parents' old house.
Hope you punched him every day.
They still live, but it's my old house now, and it went out of business.
Good.
And now it's just like it like right on the front it says like Stillwater, a homeopathic medicine community, and now it's just like overgrown. The grass is all long and bushes are untrimmed, and I just laugh every time I drive by it. Like, a bunch of idiots actually thought that would work. It's not even in like a business area. It's right in the middle of a residential zone too. So it's not even like I don't know what they were thinking. Idiots.
I mean, so those of you who aren't familiar with homeopathy, a lot of people just think of it as another word for herbal medicine. It's not. Homeopathy dates to the 1800s. It was a scientist at the time who thought that. So let's say you want a sleeping pill. The theory of homeopathy is you would take a little bit of caffeine and dilute it into water. Take that water, dilute it into more water. Then take that water and dilute it into more water, on and on and on and on. So by the end of it, and scientists have calculated that you would have a sphere of water about the size of our solar system, and it would contain one caffeine molecule. The idea being is that water has memory. And the water will remember that the caffeine molecule was there at some point. So if you then take a pill with some of this water in it, it will help you sleep because it will do the opposite of what the original drug did. Yeah. So if
what?
That's what homeopathy is.
It's
this idea. But my thought is that if water has memory, shouldn't it most of the time be remembering fish shit? Like shouldn't
human piss, presumably?
Yeah, like all of your water is the opposite. Has the opposite health benefits of crap. Because all water has dissolved something in it at some point. So, I know this isn't.
What's the stat on the water you drink? How many times has it been pissed out by someone? I believe there was a statistic.
I don't know the stat about that. Who does? But odds are you are drinking water that has at one point been pissed out by Hitler right now.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's true.
No, it probably
Hitler
is.
piss.
I think it is true, actually.
No, the P one, but I don't think odds are that we're drinking.
Odds are that you've got a
not right
molecule
now,
in
but
your water
you've probably had some
contained
Hitler
from his
piss
piss.
at some point. Yeah,
Yeah.
at least one water.
Did it make
at
you more powerful and angry?
Yes, but you've also had Gandhi piss, so that kind of.
So they canceled it remembered that, and then it canceled out the anger.
Well, no, because homeopathy, the theory is that it does the opposite of the effect. So Hitler piss would make you more peaceful, I think, is how it would work.
Oh, and the Gandhi piss would make me angry.
Yes.
Interesting.
Because, Gandhi was such a great person. Whatever. Carry on.
Gandhi was a pretty good guy. He had some messed up worldviews. But overall, maybe you're just mad because you want the empire to come back, like all English people truly do.
I do.
Yeah. The empire. You like the empire.
Canada. A better world.
I'd like Canada to be independent. You guys suck.
Yeah. So anyway, this place had like the thing where like they put the little needles in you. I forget what it's called.
That's the other one. Yeah. You're wondering why this is a technology-related subject. Well, if you like the scientific progress that led to the computer you're using to listen to, you should really question anyone who claims that science is bad and they have the real answers, because they're full of crap. But yeah, what's the one? It's the Chinese one with the pins.
Cupping. No, the Chinese one is cupping. That's even more
cupping.
Cupping. Cupping is
where
where
you stick the needles in you, though. Acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
Acupuncture. Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't seem pleasant at all, being stabbed with pins.
If people want to spend their money doing this, that's fine. I just get worked up when government insurance pays for it, because it shouldn't. But if you want to spend your own money with it, I don't care.
I love how
Hitler
Scutterman's coming out in
He had a screwed up way of getting it. Yeah, he wanted.
defense of Hitler in the chat room. Good on you. You fight that fight.
I'm not even gonna
I agree
say-
too, but whatever.
Title:
Hitler wanted world peace under him. Because he would have lived forever, and then everything would have been fine.
The concept was good in theory. He just went about it wrong. That's how
Hitler
it
had some good ideas.
So apparently I nailed it about Google's boat.
Yeah. We were talking about Google's mysterious boat, both on Facebook and here on the show. And it's just a party boat. It's not a server or a nuclear vessel or anything interesting. It's a party
Yeah,
boat.
they go to party.
Yeah. I was really hoping Google would declare itself a sovereign nation and that it has
Can
nuclear
I be a
weapons.
citizen of Google? I
would. I totally want a Google passport. I bet you it would have a really clean aesthetic. It would just all be white space. Not a lot of space wasted there. Yeah, it would have been awesome. But no, it's just a party boat. They're going to show off Google Glass there. Google. Why is the reality got to be so disappointing?
Speaking of Google Glass, did you
How
guys
is
see
that
that story
disappointing?
that Jess put on Facebook that someone got a ticket for driving with Google Glass?
Yeah, that came up a couple weeks ago. The first Google Glass driving ticket. I honestly, I don't think
What's
that's
the official law on
misplaced.
that say? 'Cause
There
it's not
isn't one yet. There isn't
is in
one
the
yet.
UK.
I think you're not
So how
allowed
do you
to
get a
watch
ticket?
TV. Well, it'll probably go to court because they got to define this, right? But you're not allowed to look at your phone while driving. So the question is Google Glass a phone? You can see through it and see what's going on. It just does an overlay over it. Is that the same as looking at your phone? And there is an exception for a GPS device. And the guy is arguing that he was using it for turn-by-turn directions. So arbitrary, right? Because there's no way for the cop to determine what it was you were looking at.
It turns out the hands-free sets are actually much more dangerous anyway.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Where you don't look at your phone and you just talk into it. They're just as dangerous.
Yeah,
So
completely.
it's all kind of moot, really.
How is that just as dangerous as looking at your phone?
Well, it turns out the evidence says it is. Because you're still distracted. Your mind is still distracted. You're talking to someone while driving, and it's no good.
I thought I saw there was a texting and driver simulator game, and it was obscenely hard, and no one could win. Like, you'd have to drive on a race course, and then every once in a while you'd be required to look down at your phone and write LOL or JK or something. And it was really hard, and no one could win it. So, yeah. I'm being told by the chat room you can't compare homeopathy with acupuncture. The acupuncture, I don't know, neither has major scientific studies saying that they work, but homeopathy is on its own level of crazy. It's completely useless. I mean...
So is sticking something in your foot believing it'll cure your liver cancer.
Yeah.
That's absolutely dumb.
With homeopathy, you are actively just drinking water. I mean,
The other one
there's
is
at
just
least
actively stabbing yourself. Yeah.
there's at the
gonna
very
work.
least with acupuncture and ancient tradition, giving it legitimacy. Homeopathy is just something a white guy made up in the 1800s. Like it's not even that old.
Because as we know, old traditions always turn out to be totally legit.
Oh, totally. That's why I still stone my wife for looking at other men. Yeah, totally.
Did you say you stone your wife?
For looking at other men. I don't know. That's in the Quran or something.
Oh, just getting a bit political there.
I'm a bigot.
Let's move on.
Any scripture, if you take it literally, you'll do crazy things like that. Sorry. Peace be upon the prophet. Microsoft is killing the Skype API. So if you like third-party add-ons, or even in some cases drivers for your headset, too bad, because Skype's killing it. Why? They said it was because it doesn't help them with their mobile app development. What? Yeah. So, sorry if you liked using Skype with other apps. You're screwed now. That's about it for this. Unless you've got something to add here, James. We were all afraid that Microsoft would wreck Skype. Is this the beginning?
I have no idea what this has anything
Skype
to do
wrecked
with.
itself. Skype's garbage. Nobody likes Skype.
No, I still use it for phone calls sometimes. When Google Hangouts is
Make
down.
myself black and white.
What?
Yeah, there's like a little thing. It's like, and you can enhance the video. I can make it focus.
You're so bored you're playing with that.
You can really tell how far in advance we got the podcast prepared based on whether there's banners with our name at the bottom of the screen or not. This week we apparently had no time.
I had it, and then Chrome crashed, as you probably noticed when I disconnected, and then I lost it now.
I didn't notice that at all.
Oh, good.
About a week and a half ago, I published a piece about tech buzzwords that need to die, thanks to Dave P. for the idea. And one of the things I said is, it's like Uber 4. And in this list, I gave in this article, I gave a list of fake companies you could do that are like Uber 4. And one of the things I said was, it's like Uber for friends. And I said that as a joke, but apparently my jokes come true. James?
Yes, I picked that out just because I remember your buzzword article. So this is obviously in Japan.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Where else would it be?
Of course it should be.
It's like Uber for friends, and it's $400 for a full day of companionship, like 11 hours.
$400?
Yeah, which is and before you say, is this thing about sex? The answer is no, because you can actually get home delivery sex workers for about a quarter of that price in Japan.
But they won't be your friend.
No, they won't.
More.
They'll leave you
after someone
after an hour. That's only an hourly price, obviously.
Sex is cheap. Friendship's expensive.
Yeah, but you can rent a friend over there. So I had to include this because Uber for friends.
I've never heard that as a buzzword. It's like Uber for. I've never actually heard anybody use that except for this situation currently. Maybe I'm missing something.
You're missing everything.
You just don't hang out with startup people ever. If you do, you'll. I didn't know what Uber was, and people just started saying, "Oh, my company is like Uber for," and I'm like, "What the hell is Uber?" But I couldn't stop to ask to explain because these are startup people and they've got their own language. A popular buzzword today, IPO. Yeah, that's a pretty bad one.
Oh, we IPO'd Technophilia, didn't we? No, we didn't.
Oh yeah, I think we found out that we were worth a button. So now, I no longer own the podcast, but I have a very nice button that the three of us are sharing. I'm going to mail the button to you next month. It is a red button.
The Sisterhood of Traveling Buttons. Gotcha.
It's going to be awesome. Okay, so moving right along, there's Sweetie is a 3D generated virtual child. What?
Yeah. If you have a moment, go check out the video. It's quite interesting. There's a team in the Philippines who started trying to catch people online by just pretending to be a child, but then they realized they needed something more convincing when these predators asked for like webcam access. So they made a virtual child, and they can like press buttons to control her gestures, and you see her on Skype if you're Skyping with her.
Wait, this thing looks real enough to fool these molesters?
Well, that's what I was going to say. For me, it hits the uncanny valley, which is where it's so real, so close to lifelike that it's completely unlifelike and quite frankly terrifying, right? If you go watch the video, you'll see what I mean. But apparently they've found like a couple of hundred people, and they've emailed their dossiers out to governments, and they're asking you to sign a petition if you're that way inclined, so you can pressure your government to catch these guys. But yeah, so that was my first point. It's like the uncanny valley effect there. The second point is this actually, are these people actually guilty of a crime?
Yeah.
Because it's not a real child. I mean, grooming a child online is like actually a crime. But I mean, this isn't a child, it's not real, so is it a crime?
Definitely showing the intention to commit a crime, but isn't it? I mean, it's the same thing when the FBI tricks someone into committing an act of terrorism, but the bomb's not real, right? That's the same legal question. Oh, you are right about the uncanny valley thing. I've got this on the screen here. Actually, that looks pretty good. That's not so bad.
It's almost too good, though. And third point...
Oh, they've got motion capture going there.
Being raised by someone in the chat room, will it replace kiddie porn? I mean, what if this was released as a software package you could download or buy or whatever? And I don't want to use the word like satiate, but satiate someone's desires. Do you think this would be an acceptable way of dealing with potential pedophiles? Notice we're saying like potential here because it's someone who hasn't actually done anything. What do you think?
I have no idea. This is a complicated question, and I can't begin to unravel it. I mean, child porn's the main problem with child porn is when it, you know, ends up abusing children. You know, like children are being forced into these situations that aren't.
Exactly. So if it was like a fake child, does that make it okay? Well, of course it doesn't make it okay,
I don't
but
think so.
Does it make it an acceptable way to treat these people, maybe?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But
well, there goes my point.
you know, I just have this moral revulsion to the act of taking pleasure at the thought of abusing children, even if the children in question is fictional. I just can't. I can't justify that at all. Maybe I'm being overly moralistic here, but yeah.
Fair enough.
There's nothing funny about this story. It's just kind of
It's not funny at all. I thought it was interesting though.
This is an interesting approach. That I don't know.
Go and sign the petition if you can. And they want to.
You can see the video. It's from the Amsterdam shipping crate. That's interesting. I'll have to look into this a little more. That's really crazy that they designed a child that looks that real for this specific purpose. Let's move right on to the gaming news. Top story in gaming news this week is Nintendo's ongoing desire to create its own miniature nanny state within its ecosystem continues. No more dirty Nintendo notes for you. I mean, Nintendo has been afraid ever since they started launching online components that it would be used to spread naughty bits of information. It's why, in large part, their online offerings are so lackluster. They don't want a lot of direct interaction because there's risks they'll be held liable for something like what we were just talking about. So there was a service on the 3DS. Dave, you might know more about this. You could send messages to other gamers, basically.
You had to exchange your codes first, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I never really used it, but it was there, and you could draw penises and send them to people if you wanted to. You know.
So you're the problem here. This is why this isn't happening.
But I never drew any penises or sent them to anybody. But you know, it's gone now.
Yeah. It's gone now.
No more penises.
You never could have sent a penis. You never can send a penis now. That's just.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of proving Nintendo's point with this.
If you like
penises, I recommend Microsoft's Xbox Live service. Uncensored communication for all your penis needs.
It's kind of dumb, really. I mean, they were using random forums on the internet to exchange friend codes and then send dirty pictures to each other. Why don't you just send the dirty pictures using the forums or something?
Yeah, that's kind of a waste of time, isn't it?
No, I know, because then you can't do them in 3D. Oh, that's probably why, because they were in 3D. They wanted 3D dirty pictures. Well, this makes so much more sense now. Oh, that makes sense. 3D dirty pictures.
Oh, well. It's pretty dumb.
Moving right along, Call of Duty Ghosts will run at 720p on the Xbone, but 1080p on the PS4. What's going on, Dave?
No one really knows.
Yeah.
Just is it a matter of it's just easier to make it 1080p on the PS4 because of the architecture, or is it that the Xbox One
is the PS4 notably more powerful than the Xbox One?
It's more powerful, but the Xbox One should be sufficiently powerful to run a game in native 1080p. It should be based on.
It should be.
Xbox run a game in 1080p? Can the Xbox? The current Xbox 360 not run a game in 1080p?
Well, they all run the games in 1080p upscaled, but the difference. So you have to basically count the pixels to notice the difference between this, because it's still going to output the 1080p on your TV. It's just it's not being natively done in the system. It's being done over.
So to be fair, you would need a pretty big TV to notice the difference.
And even then, you still have to get right up close to it and be like, hey, wait a second. So it's
so maybe it's just not a priority. Maybe they're writing it first for the PlayStation and porting it to the Xbox. I mean, I'm just theorizing.
No, that's the question. Is it either lazy developers or is it genuinely a crappy Xbox One? And well, it's not a good sign for one of the launch games to be like that.
It shows at the very least that developers are not considering the Xbox One a priority.
I mean,
Yeah, it seems like
We'll
I
see.
don't know. It seems like they kind of they're just like phoning it in on Call of Duty Ghosts anyway, because it's I don't know. It seems
have
like
you got
the
it yet,
game
Dave?
seems kinda lazy. Yeah, I bought it. It's all right. It's good, but it's just
Is it good?
That's our next story. A lot of people have just gone ahead and bought Ghosts for the current generation of
I
consoles
was thinking about it.
rather than wait.
Yeah, it already hit $1 billion.
Yeah. Has it hit
Well,
a
it hit $1
billion
billion
dollars
in revenue for Activision, which means it sold $1 billion into retail stores. So it has not been purchased $1 billion worth of games.
Hey, what's the word on the upgrade thing? Because I was thinking about buying it digitally, but then I realized
If
well,
the
I buy the
upgrading
disc,
on the
I can sell it
PlayStation
in-
4 is real easy. On the Xbox One, it's a little more of a pain in the butt. No,
Well,
it's
you would get a free
$10
yeah.
next gen version.
upgrade.
But
to-
does that work
Oh,
for
okay.
discs as well? Because if it does, then I might as well just go buy a real disc and then.
Yeah, on the PlayStation, it works with with discs or digital. It's just like the discs come with like a code. With the 360, it's a lot more of a pain in the ass. Like the retailers are offering up the program. So like, I bought mine from GameStop. So GameStop has a program where if you bring back your 360 version of Call of Duty Ghosts, you get the Xbox One for $10. But you lose your current copy. The PlayStation 1, you don't lose your current copy. You just enter the code and you get the game for $10, and then you get to keep your PS3 one.
I might as well just download it tonight. Then.
But I don't think I'm gonna upgrade anyway because like everyone I know is kind of more casual gamer people. They're not gonna get a Xbox One, so I'm just gonna keep playing it on 360.
Dude,
I don't
you'll have to get a
care if
PS4.
it looks. Well, I'm not gonna get it for PS4 anyway. I'm not gonna get anything for PS4.
Well,
But
what you're going to be reviewing the PS4, and then maybe you'll no, you won't. You won't. No, never
and then
mind.
I'm gonna give it away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep the Xbox One that I review though.
Really?
Yeah, all my
Why is
friends
that
are
okay?
Xbox people, so they're all gonna be on Xbox. No one's gonna buy a PS4.
Huh.
Really? Crazy.
So it might sell a few after all.
So stay tuned to make use of next month if you want to potentially win one of the next-gen consoles, though. That's what I got out of all that.
Yep.
Speaking of next-gen consoles, Microsoft has a bit of an image problem. It doesn't think of itself very highly right now. And when people are skeptical about certain parts of their, shall we say, manlyhood, they tend to make very big things. And Microsoft has done just that in Vancouver for some reason. They made a giant version of the Xbox One, and they hid a ton of zombies inside of it when people looked at it. Now I'm looking at the photo here. It is just in a parking lot, like beside a dumpster.
And it is literally just a huge Xbox One.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting about
I
this
mean,
at
even
all.
in London, they erected a huge 150-inch Surface tablet,
Yeah.
which was actually functional. You could hit the keys and do Twitter and stuff. Although I don't quite know.
Well-
Are you supposed to log into Twitter using those huge? Surely someone could. Whatever.
I know they do it on Fox News, James. I don't you watch Fox News? They're giant. I am
I don't
getting
know. Is this
serious
really helping their public image?
No, not really.
No.
But again, Canada's just like, oh man, they're paying attention to us. Yay! That's what it's really all about.
Microsoft is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Microsoft has such a huge marketing department that everyone's just sitting in a boardroom somewhere like, what should we do this week, gents? I don't know. Why don't we make a giant console? Yeah, but you know what would be great is if we put zombies on it for Halloween. Fantastic. Okay, that's worth a couple million. Let's do this. Yeah.
I like zombies, so
Mhm.
So that's why I'm buying an Xbox One. I'm
Yeah.
convinced by that.
Maybe Nintendo could learn from this kind of marketing. They had a stunning quarter. They lost $18.4 billion, as James wrote in this
whatever.
summary.
Yeah.
It's 18.4 billion yen. But still, that's 187 million. That's a pretty sizable loss. And this despite the fact that they're selling more consoles than they did last year by far. So Nintendo's in a bit of trouble. This is a GameCube 2.0.
It's because they take a loss on every console, don't they? So the more they sell, the bigger their losses
I mean,
are going to be.
That was the big good thing about the Wii compared to the next-gen consoles of that time. The Wii, they were making a profit every time. This time they're making a loss because they have to subsidize this stupid tablet in addition to the console with the hardware in it.
But I'm surprised that all the DS sales are not like canceling that out.
Yeah, I don't think this quarter includes the October launch of Pokemon. I think that would have canceled that out a little bit.
That would the 2DS.
This is not that quarter. Yeah, the 2DS and Pokemon X and Y would eat into that a little bit, and it looks like with the re-release of the Zelda game, they might get some sales. But for me, the main thing holding me back is the lack of any really stellar titles. They launched another Mario side scroller, but I'm not going to buy a new console for that. Even though like I'm an avid Mario fanboy, but that's not enough. They did a Mario 3D Land, and now they're remaking a Zelda game that I admittedly haven't played, but I could get it used for the GameCube for next to nothing. So there's just not a lot of incentive.
It's like I think that game's worth like $40.
Which one?
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker. Okay, $40, whatever.
Like next to nothing.
But it's as opposed to buying a new console, like that's a pretty significant.
Well, that's true.
Like it's not a compelling reason to buy the console yet. So where is the spiritual successor to Super Mario Galaxy? Where is a decent Zelda really? I mean, these are the kinds of things that are Nintendo's bread and butter, and they haven't delivered yet. And the casual gamers are just completely alienated by this ridiculous tablet control. So, in summary, you were right, James. This thing's stupid. They shouldn't have done it.
I forgot to add this to the outline, but you see they announced for coming to the United States, it's already in Canada, the Wii Mini.
The Wii Mini, yeah, $100. You can
$100, but no internets.
Oh, no Wi-Fi for it. Huh.
So,
admittedly, the internet was not the best feature of the Wii. A lot of people weren't really using it anyways, so...
Can you even download a system update then?
No, but if you buy a new game, it comes with them usually. I know when I bought Donkey Kong, it came with the Wii the new Wii firmware, and I had to install it to play the game. So, yeah. But they haven't done any software updates in a long time, which has been nice for people who want to jailbreak the thing.
I only bought Zelda so I could jailbreak.
Yeah. It doesn't work anymore. You don't need to jailbreak a Wii Zelda. You just need an SD card. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyways, final story I have here. You can play with Windows 1 in your browser right now. What are you doing this now? It's amazing. I'm going to show you my screen because this shit's awesome. I'm going to. All of Microsoft's first operating system is running in my Chrome browser on my Mac.
What can you do with it?
I'm going to play Reversi.
You can play Reversi, yeah, that was the first thing I did.
This is so cool.
You're white. You can't go there.
I'm white. Oh, it's giving me little pop-up instructions. So this is what Windows used to be.
Mine's not working.
Yours sucks.
Control-Alt.
Don't go there. Don't give him the sides. Don't give him the sides.
I'm not good at... How good can the AI be?
Oh, for God's sake.
40 years.
You've lost. Don't be the first one to go on the second line from the outside.
I don't know anything about reverse.
You suck.
I should get Zork on this thing. Can I do that? Can I, upload software? Anyways, pretty sweet. I like the calendar app.
I want to know what's on the A drive.
Pornographicals.
Can you get porn on this? Try. Where's Internet Explorer? Get Internet Explorer.
There's no Internet Explorer.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm going back here to the main drive. The calendar app is pretty underwhelming. Let's see how Notepad is. I bet you it's about the same.
God, I can't remember computers before there was the internet. What
wow, Notepad looks exactly the same.
Is there an early version of Encarta? Maybe that would be cool.
An early version? No, not this early, man.
Man, I used to spend so much time in that Encarta.
Yeah.
I didn't learn
Printing out my school reports.
This is incredible. I can insert the time and date. It thinks it's January 1, 1980. Anyways, play with this. It's kind of entertaining. I wish we could upload software to it. I used to have Windows 3.1 running in DOSBox. It was one of my main accomplishments in college. I don't have it anymore. But check it out. Worth playing with.
I only joined from Windows 3.1, yeah. Before that, I was an Amstrad guy. And Archimedes, Acorn Archimedes.
Before that, I was 5.
Well, yeah, you had a computer when you were 5, didn't you?
No.
Whatever.
I just lost the outline, so I guess the show's over now.
Show's over. Go away, people.
Oh, well, I want to thank everyone for listening.
I don't. I hate
really
you all.
appreciated. Particularly want to thank all the people in the chat room today. If you don't know this, you can join us live every Wednesday morning in the U.S. It's at 11 a.m. Eastern time, or at
4
some
p.m. in the
magical
UK?
time. 4 p.m. in the UK. Yep.
Yep.
If you missed the show this week, it's because we had daylight savings and we switched again. So sorry about that, everyone. But it seems like the chat room was pretty active. I want to thank all of you for showing up. If you'd rather not commit yourself to listening to us in real time every Wednesday morning, you can talk to us throughout the week. That's fine. Just go to facebook.com/Technophilia podcast. Oh, speaking of, I shouldn't be ending the show because we got to go through the user-submitted stuff. I'm sorry, it wasn't in the outline, and I really can't not do this. So let's get started, Dave. What do we got here this week?
What?
I closed that page, so you'll have to give me a second.
I'm opening it now.
Me too. Let's stall for a second. So,
What are we looking at? Technophilia on Facebook?
Yeah, Technophilia on Facebook. So Michael, there wasn't anyone tweeting us this week, really, but on the Facebooks, Michael Dwells pointed out that Bitcoin is broken. Like, it's just a fundamentally broken system, this article claims. It's just not... There are certain problems with it.
Is it the fact that you can trace everything back to a wallet, maybe?
A minority group of miners, according to this article, can obtain revenues in excess of their fair share and grow in number until they reach a majority. Once this point is reached, the Bitcoin value proposition collapses. If the currency comes under control of a single entity, it's no longer decentralized. The controlling entity can determine who participates in mining and which transactions are committed. So check out this article. I don't have a lot to say about it because I'm not quite knowledgeable in Bitcoin enough to know what this all means, but definitely worth it.
Koshi, what's it mean?
Koshi, let us know what it means.
Aren't they only talking about new Bitcoin type currencies though? Because it doesn't make, you can't say one person can only mine Bitcoins because
no. They're
people
saying
already
if a big enough minority decided to work together on mining Bitcoins, they could, according to this, take control of the currency. I've seen this reported elsewhere. I don't know how much of it to believe. We should maybe get a Bitcoin expert on the show to explain it to us. A supermarket chain called Tesco. Is this a British thing?
Yes.
Tesco? Okay, I've never heard of it. They're installing high-tech screens with cameras in them, and these cameras will scan your faces so that they know your age and your sex, and as such, better able to market to you.
Oh, you know what my local Tesco just started doing? They brought
what
in
did they start doing?
They give you a scanner when you go in, like a little barcode scanner, and as you go around, you pack your own bags when you're shopping, and you scan it as you put it in, and then just when you leave, you just put the scanner in, pay for what's on the thing. It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, they've had that here for a while at the Stop and Shop. I've never used it though.
It's really good.
It's kind of strange. You like that? I don't think I'd like that.
What, you too lazy to scan your own stuff, or what?
Well, it's more like as I'm shopping, I like to put stuff back. Yeah,
like,
I mean, we go to the grocery store. We're spending $60, and then we might have some stuff in our cart that we put back later.
Oh, so no, look, what's really useful about that is it gives you a running total as you're going along, so you can damn well stick to that.
That's cool. We just
Which
do
is
the
cool.
math in our
That I
heads.
really like, because sometimes we have like £5 off 40 quid spend or something, and I'm having to add it up on my bloody calculator as we go along. Are we over 40
You guys actually
quid?
have a budget when you go grocery shopping?
I don't know.
I just have things that I want, and then I just get them, and whatever that costs, that's what it costs.
It's more like, oh shit, did we just spend 200 quid in Costco? Oh yes, we did.
Yeah, we definitely stick to a budget for just that reason.
Yesterday, me and Jess got out of the store with $80. I was like, fucking hey, under $100? This is unheard of.
So I'm hearing they have these scanners in Pennsylvania as well, says Alex Meyer in the chat room. So Mayor.
They're cool. I like them.
Do you guys use the
Speaking of Jess, she on Facebook pointed out that some dude put a Bluetooth biochip under his skin himself. He calls himself a do-it-yourself cyborg. I don't
That's the British
think that's
guy, isn't it?
a good idea. Oh, I just saw the picture, and I wish I had not seen this picture. Why'd you do it under your tattoo? This thing's huge.
That's some pretty extreme body mod going on right there.
I'm not okay with this. I don't even care what it does.
It looks more like a mobile
All it
phone
does
he's
is
embedded.
monitor like his body temperature too. It's like completely.
He put his iPhone in there and then realized, oh wait, now I can't use the touch interface.
It's always being touched because it's on his skin.
I mean, that's a bit big to be a Bluetooth interface. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty. I don't know what kind of information you're getting from this thing that makes you think it's worthwhile, or how you're going to keep that battery charged, but yeah.
There's a guy in Britain who does this quite a lot. He embeds like a RFID chip, and then his doors open for him, and the house tracks where he goes and stuff. That was quite a few
Well,
years
an
ago.
RFID chip is tiny.
If you just stuck like an NFC tag under your skin, like that would
Well,
be
technically,
alright.
a Bluetooth chip is tiny. I don't know what this bloody moron's put in his skin, but
No, that thing's huge. That's.
maybe it's got a
like
year.
you get like AIDS or something. Not AIDS, but like cancer.
What? Thanks.
I don't know.
Thanks, Jess, for ruining my day.
He only made it through it with a lot of pain and a lot of grunting, he said.
Oh God, you know what we forgot this week? A T-shirt. Oh.
Okay. We're the
We
worst
don't have a question for T-shirts.
freaking podcast hosts in the world. Can you guys take responsibility for the T-shirt thing? Thanks for everyone who submitted articles on the Facebooks. It's deeply appreciated. We like you guys. Michael Delves, Jessica N. Thank you. So at the Technophilia, facebook.com/Technophilia podcast. Check it out. Join the conversation. A lot of you guys had a lot to say about some of the stories we posted. I did post that Richard Dawkins was a crazy old person complaining about the airport on Twitter. When the airport security took away his jar of honey, he said Bin Laden has won. A lot of you guys had something to say about this. The top one, isn't Salon.com satire? That cracked me up. I don't know if you're serious, like you really think it's a satire, or if you're trolling. Awesome, either way. And someone else, Tom Willoughby, pointed out that the rules are written clearly in multiple places. Any intelligent person can view them at any time. I was in America a while back, and it surprised me that frosting counted as a liquid, but I moved on. So there you go. I also posted on the Facebook page, and you should definitely go check this out. Someone hacked Sonic Generations to replace Sonic with Luigi, and I proposed that every Sonic game of the 3D era would be better with Luigi. That's it's awesome. You should check it out.
Dude should have just put it in his packed luggage, not in his hand luggage.
I never check luggage myself. Even if I'm going to like Europe or Asia, I just do carry on. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You must travel with like a bum bag as your luggage or something. That's
No,
mad.
it's just a suitcase. It's just small enough to fit in overhead compartments comfortably.
But don't
There's
you
no
buy
problem
like a
with it.
suitcase worth of crap and bring it back?
No, I don't bring carrot back with me.
Yeah.
I bring a little bit, I guess. Not
Don't
much.
tell customs, but I stuff my suitcase full of Chinese chili sticks all the time.
I brought some cheese back from the Netherlands, I guess.
That's not allowed.
The security scanned my bag. I said, "Does cheese matter?" And they're like, "Of course cheese matters. It's delicious." And then they let me go. Oh, they just thought, I'm flying. Where'd you fly from? Amsterdam. They're like, "Oh, his name's Justin Pott. He flew from Amsterdam. We got to scan his shit." And I'm like, there's cheese in there.
Clearly an international smuggler, and this is his drug name.
I picked the worst pseudonym in the world. I am an innocent traveler from Amsterdam. Justin Pott. Nothing suspicious about me.
Cheez-Its.
I am going to my home in Boulder, Colorado. Yeah, I can see why they flagged me. I get it. The pot capital of North America. Yeah, okay, I get it. I really do, but it really was just cheese, people.
What kind of cheese?
Gouda. Gouda's delicious, man. And it's way more delicious in the Netherlands.
I like cheddar jack. That's my favorite cheese. A little spicy.
You can get that anywhere. But
Yeah,
cheddar
that's
jack.
so boring, Dave. That's just...
Cheddar
What?
jack's
Cheddar
pretty
jack's
cool.
not boring. It's like the super flavorful cheese.
It's just cheddar with a bit of chili in it. What's wrong with you?
You know when James said that he liked a certain kind of pizza, and we're like, you Europeans don't know pizza?
Yep.
Calling
You
it
guys
with
don't know
Americans.
cheese.
Calling it with Americans and cheese, yeah. We don't know cheese here.
Well, personally, I don't really like cheese that much.
You have three kinds of cheese,
so
don't
I
you,
am no
Dave? It's like
cheese
grated,
aficionado.
sliced, or... I don't know. What's your other kind of cheese?
I apparently closed the chat room at some point. This is...
Cheese.
Cheese. Yeah, grated, sliced, and powdered.
American.
American cheese. It's a
That's not
contradiction.
even cheese.
That is so bad. My internet just broke, Bill Gates. Why can't you just get me some better internet? Says our Indian listener. Screw malaria. Awesome. Chat room, let's move right along officially to the after show here. What should the title of the episode be? Let me know.
How about whoever gives us a title gets a T-shirt?
Yeah, yeah. Whoever gives us a title we like gets a T-shirt. Yeah, and we will not put the form up in the chat room where everyone can see it this time.
Email
Yeah.
me if I pick you or something. No,
Title
wait, that won't-
title
couple of
contest.
titles
We're
already.
doing this. You guys are awesome. We need a good title, and we'll get in touch with you. Yeah. So what do we got, guys? I'm gonna scroll through the chat room because I know you guys did suggest a Hitler pick.
Technophilia, hack your dreams.
Hack your dreams. Could have like a unicorn and a rainbow with a guy
That
with
would
a
be
machete.
awesome if you can.
Yeah.
That's the tech I'm waiting for. You know.
Dream hack.
That's
You're
why
waiting
lucid
for
dreaming is so cool.
You're waiting for Inception to become like a documentary. That's your dream here. That's what you want. Yeah. Hitler's pee-pee. Well, I don't think we're doing that. Things Americans can't make. Cheese. You know, there are people in America making good cheese. There are people in America making excellent beer. I mean, people always say, oh, Americans don't make good beer, and then when they come here, they drink Bud Light. Well, that's your frickin' problem. There's plenty of great beer being made here. It's just being made in microbrews. So you gotta check those out.
Title Hitler piss. Maybe
Hitler piss,
You've
yeah,
drunk
I don't-
Hitler's piss.
Odds are you
I,
have.
Hey guys, random aside, I took
Yeah.
advantage of EA's new return policy on Origin the other day, and it actually worked. They gave me my money back.
What did you return?
Battlefield 4.
Oh shit! Why? What's wrong with it?
I didn't like it very much, and it was crashing a lot, very buggy, and I didn't want to
I
give
played
EA my
the
money
beta
for
on
another
on
buggy game. So within
PS4.
24 hours of the first time you boot it, you can request a refund, and like 20 minutes after I requested it, they said, here's your money back.
I didn't like it that much either. Actually, when they released that beta, I just thought it was kind of.
Oh, you know what I actually started playing last week, Dave, is Bastion.
Zelda.
Oh, Bastion's good. That's fun.
I think buying the Humble Bundle was worth it for the Bastion soundtrack alone. That is the best. Like, you could download the soundtrack as part of the bundle, and that is the best video game soundtrack I've ever heard. It sounds
Did you
like
see the new Humble Bundle they just put out like yesterday?
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
bought
sweet.
that too.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, Fear 2, Fear 3, Scribblenauts Unlimited.
Scribblenauts. Yeah, there's a bunch of really good games there. So I'd check that out. Man, I don't
I've
know
already
anyone.
played the Batman games, but I don't own them, so I was like, I would like to own them.
So we get any more title suggestions here? Where is?
I'm
porn?
extending Scudderman's. He said Windows 101. I said Windows 1.01. Where is the porn?
Really, we want porn titles again?
I don't want porn.
We need
titles.
porn titles every week. That should be our thing.
That should be our thing. It's the let's see what we can do to make Justin fired thing. What kind of bandwidth do you need to watch 4K Fox News? Oh man, why would you? I don't want to see all those.
American cheese plus James.
It's not a good combination.
American cheese is the worst.
And I especially don't want to hear that from a guy called Dick.
American cheese. American cheese is good on a grilled cheese sandwich, though.
Apparently, Skype is malware. Oh yeah, you can't. It's basically plastic, but it tastes really good on grilled cheese. I'll give it that.
Oh,
But
I can't
prefer
think
cheddar.
of any other thing that I would want to use American cheese for, though.
They put it on burgers.
Why is no one else submitting? Do you not want a T-shirt? What's wrong with you?
People don't want the T-shirts. Hitler versus
Those
Gandhi.
T-shirts are awesome. Me and Dave thought of some of them. Come on, what's wrong with you?
I ruined my make use of T-shirt by accident.
Doofus said Hitler versus Gandhi, and I think that's pretty good, but he's not in the chat room anymore, so we can't really give him the T-shirt.
Because we don't even know
That's-
who the fuck he is.
Yeah, I don't have any idea who he is.
Brack, honestly, but I don't know.
Yeah. I always assume everyone who I don't recognize is Dave Parak.
Come on, guys. Do you want a T-shirt or what? You guys are worthless.
T-shirt here. Bad BIOS is really weird. I like your
The
picture.
longer it takes for you to come up with a title that earns you a T-shirt,
Yeah, the worst
every
T-shirt
10
you
minutes we make you get one more size below your actual size.
get. Where did you find this tonight's forecast? 6 to 8 inches of snow.
It's on
I'm
Reddit.
sure that was on Reddit. Yeah,
That's pretty great.
that was awesome.
I thought that was pretty funny. 6 to 8 inches of snow. You gotta say it like that.
Of snow.
Well, you've got like 10 minutes to think of a title before I leave, anyway.
Justin be trolling Facebook. Yeah, and when you leave, this all just shuts down.
Yeah.
I also assumed Doofus was Dave P. Scudderman, but we don't know. We probably can't give him a T-shirt in any case. So what do we got?
He could get a T-shirt. Why couldn't he get a T-shirt?
I guess because he's staff. I don't know.
I don't think that matters. I mean, we
Right,
all
pretty sure he got a T-shirt anyway.
staff.
Now we got a T-shirt just for fun.
Plus,
I think
we fired him so many times. Is he really staff anymore?
Well, he fired me yesterday, which was a little confusing because I'm his boss.
Yeah,
But
that doesn't seem possible.
he does it all the time, though. Our corporate structure is very confusing.
It's pretty much just everyone firing everybody at all
So
times.
Kashi says, Technophilia, hack your dreams. I think we suggested hack your dreams before, but I don't think I like this one, but think of a compelling visual for it. Well, what's a good visual for hack your dreams? Like any good classic dream imagery? Sheep?
The Dream Patrol.
I gotta find a really creepy looking sheep. That's what I gotta do.
Don't remember the Dream Patrol? The Midnight
I have
Patrol.
no idea what you're talking
Hawksworth and Co.
about. You are just saying random words right now.
Here, I posted a link in the chat room. Potsworth and Co.
Okay, so we're gonna look for the creepiest sheep. Where is Doofus? I don't know. Doofus left us.
He had to go do some work.
That thing's pretty terrifying.
T-shirt hater.
T-shirt hater. Sheep are creepy.
We hate T-shirts. This man hates T-shirts.
That was our best title ever. This man hates games. No, I gotta get a really good looking sheep here. That's funny. Holy shit! What is this? Technophilia ducks.
We should make a Technophilia T-shirt though.
Why isn't there a Technophilia T-shirt? This is our national disgrace.
Because when
right
the
now.
T-shirts were first came up with, we weren't
part of the show.
we weren't part of Make Use of, and now
I would wear
I
that.
don't know when Jackson plans on going through and like doing another run of shirts.
I'd wear a T-shirt with my face on it.
I wouldn't want our face on it.
No, like the one with the map. Oh, this duck is asleep. Oh, look at the duck.
I'd rather have something
Look at
funny.
the duck. Dave, look at the duck.
What
I
am I
don't know if
looking
he's
at?
dead or sleeping. The duck.
Where am I looking?
Look
Oh,
at
on
the
your
hangouts. Yeah.
Is it dead or sleeping?
I don't know. Someone hacked his dreams. I'm using it.
Is that what we're going with? Hack your dream?
I think we're going with hack your dreams, and I think Kashi gets a T-shirt.
But
And I
didn't
think
someone
Kashi-
else say it before him?
Did someone else say it? Whose credit is hack your dreams? I thought James said it.
No, I was reading it from a chat room.
Oh, so who said hack your dreams? We can't give it to Kashi for no reason. It was Beyond
Beyond Three
Three Souls, and he's gone. So if someone else is Beyond Three Souls, you should let us know. Oh, we can't do hack your dreams, man. You got to come up with something. See, if people use their Twitter account, we can find them that way. But Beyond Three Souls was not a Twitter account. So, okay, well I've got that one now. Sheep are kind of ominous. I'm stuck in the sheep frame of mind here. If you can think of something better. Or there's just lamb chops.
Wait, but I thought we're not going to go with that title because we can't give the winner the winner.
Oh, you're right. We can't just give Kashi an award for someone else's idea.
We could just give Kashi an award for being Kashi.
Kashi wants a This Man Hates Games t-shirt. I'd wear that. Such a terrible picture of James. He looks like a criminal. Kashi doesn't want a t-shirt, so I guess we can just go with it. If we make a This Man Hates Games t-shirt, we'll send it your way, Kashi. We just need to find the most terrifying sheep. I need your help. No, you're not making it take fuck sheep. What is your problem, chat room? Dick.
Our chat room is filled with bad people.
You are aptly named. I like our our listeners, but this man hates the internet with picture of Bill Gates. Yeah, because that's the message we should all get from this. He's saying, you know, practically speaking, the internet's not the solution to all of our problems. You guys should do a T-shirt design idea contest. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Though I do think selling T-shirts of random episode art could be fun too. But a T-shirt design contest would be awesome. Whoa, I'm really okay.
Maybe we should just go with this man hates the internet.
With Bill Gates. So now I gotta find a free picture of Bill Gates.
Oh, that was an awesome one. I've got
Steal
one.
one.
Hang
Who
on.
cares?
Wait, no, I've got one. I've got one.
You've got one? Put it in the chat room.
That's freaking awesome.
Where the heck? That's amazing.
It's a
How high
Japanese
res is it,
poster
though?
that was on Reddit.
We have a winner.
So who won the shirt?
I think Scudderman just won the shirt. That's awesome.
It says, "We've met in an unusual place" in Japanese.
Scudderman, what's your...
Scudderman, on Twitter. You're on Twitter, right? I believe. Yeah, that's a Twitter account he's talking from. So on Twitter, send us a DM of your email address, and we will get you what you need for a shirt.
Yeah.
At the Technophilia. We'll make this happen. Okay, Techno 88. Time for my Scudderman, doing the things that Scudder can.
What is this? What can a Scudder do?
I have no idea. Google Scudder for me. Okay, I don't know why I'm bothering to make this 600 by when I'm just going to expand this, but I love the hamburger. What does it have to do with anything?
It has to do with Scudderman. Scuttering.
Oh, it's completely unfair to Bill Gates, but...
I'm sure there's a backstory to it.
The hamburger?
Yeah.
Probably.
Reddit.
Why would you do something that just makes no sense in Japan? Nobody does that. Japan's a cartoon.
Spider-Man, eat his pants because he can.
What? Singing songs like we're 8 years old, doing the things that our friends once told us to sing. Here comes the
That was awful.
Wait, you came up with peeing his pants because he can.
That's better than singing the songs that our friends told us to sing or whatever you just said. Whatever you just said was fucking dumb. Dumb, son!
Watch Red Dwarf, then you will know what a Scudderman is. See, I just need to watch Red Dwarf, apparently, because I'm missing half the references made.
I don't remember that.
Oh, Scudderman just followed us.
Scutters. They're the little things that run around the ship. Am I right?
Scudderman. He's Scudderman. He'll scud on your face if he has to. He don't care.
Okay, so do you have access?
Shut up.
My name is Scudderman. Scudder-butter-butter-butter-butter-man.
Shut up.
Could you please, Dave, log into Technophilia's Twitter? Because Scudderman's going to DM it.
I don't know how to log into a Twitter.
Okay, then I'll do it, but I have to turn off the screen sharing, or there's no.
No, don't do that. I'll do it.
Like, I'm not gonna.
What's a Twitter?
Send it on Twitter so it's secure. It looks at the Twitter account with screen sharing on. Like that's not. No.
Hey, remember how there was that movies.io site that was like beautiful and removed torrent links?
Yeah.
So someone blatantly copied it and calls it moviemagnet.net.
That's not surprising at all. Should we have that person on the show too?
It's exactly the same, but it has the torrent links, which is obviously good.
He said poop.
Here comes the Scatterman.
I'll
just get his email address.
Said poop.
What? You want me to say poop?
No, Scudderman said poop.
Yeah, I know. Just ask him for his email address, and then we can give him his T-shirt.
I don't need his email address. I can DM him the link.
T-shirt hater in the chat room is now telling us that T-shirts are horrible. So, you want us to give you an Xbox for giving us art ideas? Is that what it's going to take? If Microsoft keeps putting down the price of Surfaces, maybe we'll give those away for prizes someday.
I'm telling him to put a funny code in the redemption form.
This art is pretty fantastic.
What's the funny code, Dave?
Tell you.
You guys are the worst!
Oh, you're making this recording so long. Please, sod off, both of you.
Okay, well, we've got the art. We can stop now. I think. Check it out. What do you think, James? Are we happy?
I quite like it. Can you get rid of the yellow shit at the top and bottom there?
I could by expanding the image even further.
Yeah, do that.
Just scaling the shit out of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Center it a little more.
That's
Like
better.
the hamburger in the Xbox controller. That's pretty wonderful.
Sorry, I wrote this whole message and then Twitter just hits me with sorry, an error occurred.
I want a burger. Well, you can go to your local hamburger place and they will give you a burger in exchange for money. Okay, so that's the art this week. I will put it in the chat room as always if you want to see the final result of our labor. But I think for now we got to end the hangout. I like all of you a lot and tolerate James, but it's time for us to end. So goodbye. You're going to ask soon if the chat room's dead, and I'm going to respond. It's only dead if you let it. If you let the chat room live in your heart, it'll live on forever. What's up?
Gutterman.
What?
Send us your email address in that direct message because for some reason Twitter will not let me send you a message.
Got it. I'm sure
So
we'll connect
send me
somehow.
your email.
If you're okay with putting the email in the chat room, you can do that too. I thought I'd give you the option. So, goodbye from the world of tomorrow.
Goodbye.
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 Bye.